There's something almost poetic about gears. These toothed wheels have been turning the world for centuries, from the first mechanical clocks in medieval Europe to the massive industrial turbines powering our cities today. And right now, we're watching gear manufacturing reach a whole new level of precision. In this clip, we're taking a close look at InvoMilling, an advanced machining method developed by Sandvik Coromant that's transforming how manufacturers produce both spur gears and helical gears. So what exactly is InvoMilling? It's a highly flexible gear cutting process that uses indexable insert milling cutters, meaning the cutting blades can be swapped out and replaced without scrapping the entire tool. That alone saves manufacturers a tremendous amount of money. These cutters are mounted on standard 5-axis CNC machining centers, which most modern shops already own. Here's how it works. The cutter follows a precise involute profile, that's the curved shape of each gear tooth, moving in a coordinated motion across the gear blank. The machine tilts the cutter at a calculated angle to generate the correct tooth geometry. What makes this process remarkable is its flexibility. One set of InvoMilling cutters can produce gears with different numbers of teeth, different pressure angles, and different modules, without changing the tooling setup. Humans have been shaping hot metal with hammers since the Bronze Age, and today, we're still doing it. We've just gotten a whole lot better at it. What you're watching right now is called radial forging, and if you've never heard of it before, don't worry. By the end of this clip, you're going to understand exactly why the biggest companies in aerospace, defense, and automotive manufacturing depend on this process every single day. So here's the idea. Radial forging is a high-productivity forging method specifically designed to shape metal parts that have a long, extended axis. Think shafts, tubes, rods, gun barrels, steering columns. Instead of hammering straight down like your grandfather's blacksmith, the radial forging machine uses 4 precision hammers arranged in a cross pattern around the workpiece, and they strike simultaneously from all 4 sides at once in rapid synchronized blows. That's the radial part. The force doesn't come from one direction. It radiates inward from all angles at the same time. Now, the machine you're looking at is no ordinary press. These radial forging systems, like those built by companies such as GFM in Austria, can deliver hammering frequencies of up to 900 strokes per minute, with forging forces exceeding 500 tons. The workpiece is fed through the machine on a precisely controlled chuck, rotating and advancing in tiny, exact increments with each hammer blow. The result? A perfectly shaped part, with incredibly tight tolerances. What makes radial forging really special, and this is the part engineers love, is what happens inside the metal itself. As the hammers compress the workpiece from all sides, the internal grain structure of the steel is refined and aligned along the length of the part. That's called grain flow refinement, and it dramatically improves the fatigue strength and toughness of the finished component, far beyond what you'd ever get by machining the same shape from a solid block of steel. Think of it this way. If you carve a wooden handle from a plank, you cut across the wood grain, but if you shape a branch by hand, following the grain, that handle is going to be much stronger. Radial forging does the same thing with steel. This process is used to make hollow steering columns for your car, drive shafts for heavy trucks, precision gun barrels for defense systems, aerospace landing gear components, and a whole range of fasteners and threaded rods. And compared to traditional cutting, where you'd waste a huge amount of material just removing metal chip by chip, radial forging is dramatically more cost-efficient. Less waste, less time, stronger parts. Producing 2.3 billion pencils a year and being in the business for over 257 years, Faber-Castell has a sound know-how of how quality pencils are made. Have a look behind the scenes of our manufacturing. There are 14 steps to the process of making pencils. Pressing and drying the leads. The soft graphite mixture is extruded through a nozzle to form long strings. These are cut to length and dried in perforated tins. The cylindrical baskets turn during the drying process, preventing the leads from sticking together. Wax bath. To enhance the writing experience, the leads are immersed in a bath of liquid wax to allow for a smooth color lay down on paper. Milling the grooves and applying glue. Grooves are milled into 2 slats of wood, and to make the lead break resistant, glue is applied evenly over the entire length. Inserting the leads, closing the slat sandwich. The drying wheel, with the leads all glued into the slat and the sandwich closed, are raw pencils head for the next step in the production process, the drying wheel. A whole bunch of sandwiches are pressed together and dried for roughly an hour, making sure that the wood does not split when the pencil is ready for our next step. Milling the pencils, getting into shape. Classic round, hexagonal or grip-friendly triangular from regular to jumbo sizes. Painting the pencils. Colors. Our Polychromos and Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils are available in more than 120 different shades. Stamping the pencils, gold foil, from classic black to glittering gold. As one of the companies with the oldest trademark, our products can be recognized by the Fighting Knights and the Faber-Castell logo. Dipping the pencils. Today caps are colored in different styles and shades. From the golden ring that adorns the Castell 9000 to the colorful tops of our Creative Studio pencils. The drying room, pencils over pencils over pencils. Like a colorful flower border, this department changes its color from day to day, depending on the hundreds of pencils that are waiting to be sharpened. Sharpening the pencils. Nothing for the ear but definitely attractive for the eye is our automated sharpening process, pencils gliding over rotating sandpaper. Visual control. Absolutely stunning to see the speed at which our SAE employees spot the tiniest fault in the produced pencils. Did you know that their keen eye works better than any machine? Packaging. The final step is packaging the pencils in boxes and tins. This is the Göring RF100. Göring is a German cutting tool manufacturer with over 120 years of history, founded in 1898 in Albstadt, Germany. Every tool they make is engineered with obsessive precision, and the RF100 series is the crown jewel of their solid carbide end mill lineup. The RF100 is a solid carbide end mill with a very specific geometry that Göring spent years perfecting. Let's break down what makes it different. First, the flute design. The RF100 features variable helix flute geometry, meaning each flute has a slightly different spiral angle. That might sound like a small detail, but it's a big deal. Uniform flute angles can create harmonic vibrations during cutting, that chatter you sometimes hear in a machine shop that makes a part's surface look rippled instead of smooth. Second, the carbide substrate. Göring uses an ultra-fine grain tungsten carbide with a proprietary coating. Their fire coating, which combines extreme hardness at the cutting edge with heat resistance up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. That lets this cutter run at feed rates and spindle speeds that would destroy a lesser tool. Third, the corner radius. Many RF100 variants feature a subtle corner radius, not a sharp 90-degree edge, but a small, precisely controlled rounded corner. That one feature significantly increases tool life, because sharp corners are where end mills tend to chip first. Watch how the tool moves through the material: steel, aluminum, titanium, whatever the job calls for. The cut is smooth, confident. There's no hesitation, no chatter. Chips fly off cleanly, and the surface left behind has a beautiful, almost mirror-like finish. The RF100 is available in diameters from as small as 1 mm all the way up to 20 mm, with a range of lengths, flute counts, and coatings to match virtually any material or application. Here's a question for you. How do you bend a steel plate that's nearly 2 inches thick into a perfect circle 6 meters across? The answer is a machine called the MH365 I-plate rolling machine, and watching it work is one of those things that reminds you just how extraordinary modern manufacturing really is. The MH365i is a 4-roll CNC plate bending machine. That 4-roll design is critical. Older, simpler plate rolls use 3 rolls. But with 4 rolls, the machine can grip and pre-bend the leading edge of the plate from the very start. No need to flip the plate or make multiple pre-bending passes. Everything happens in one smooth, continuous operation. Here's how it works. The plate is fed into the machine and gripped between the top roll and the bottom roll. 2 side rolls, positioned below and to either side of the top roll. Then push upward against the plate, applying a carefully calculated force that causes the steel to yield and bend. The CNC control system, this is where modern technology really earns its keep, continuously monitors the bending radius in real time and makes micro adjustments to the roll positions, ensuring the curve stays perfectly consistent from one end of the plate to the other. Achieving a finished diameter of 6 meters with a 50 mm plate requires precise calculation of springback, because steel always tries to return to its flat shape after the force is released. The CNC system accounts for this automatically, applying a slightly tighter bend than the final target, so that when the force is released, the plate springs back to exactly the right diameter. The result is a rolled cylinder, perfectly round, perfectly consistent, ready to be welded into a finished component.